If you feel alone, not just single, but alone in the way that sits in your chest like a stone, stay. Because what I'm about to tell you isn't comfort. It's not, you'll find someone. It's not, love yourself first in some hollow greeting card way. It's something older than that. And it might be the reason this found you tonight. In Vedic astrology, there's a nakshatra called Purva Ashadha, the Invincible Star. Its ruler is Venus, the planet of love, beauty, the ache you feel when you see something so perfect it almost hurts. And its deity is Apis, the cosmic waters. Not a warrior, not a shield, water. Think about that. The star they called invincible isn't ruled by force. It's ruled by the thing that flows around every obstacle, wears down every wall, and finds its way into every crack. That's the kind of love we're talking about. Here's what no one tells you about loneliness. It doesn't come from being alone. It comes from being hidden. You can be surrounded by people and still feel it. That low hum in your chest that says, no one here actually knows me. The loneliness was already there. In the morning when you reached for your phone before your own thoughts. In the evening when the apartment got quiet and you turned on something, anything, so you wouldn't have to sit in the silence with yourself. Saturn knows this. Saturn is the planet that doesn't soften things. Saturn shows you what is real, what's actually there when you stop decorating. You feel alone because somewhere along the way, you closed a door inside yourself. And you've been knocking on other people's doors ever since, hoping they'll open theirs wide enough for both of you. Venus rules Purva Ashadha, and Venus is not what you think. Venus is not romance. Venus is not the butterflies, the first date, the someone completing you. That's Venus in costume, Venus in greeting cards. Real Venus is the capacity to receive, to let something in, to be seen in the place where you are most tender and not flinch. And that's exactly where you built the wall. You built it smart. You built it after someone showed you that being open was dangerous, that loving fully meant losing fully, that the softest parts of you were the ones that got hurt the worst. So you armored. Not with anger, that would be too obvious. You armored with independence, with I'm fine alone, with a self-sufficiency so complete that no one could get close enough to disappoint you. And it worked. No one has. But the armor feels heavier than usual lately. Because the thing about walls is that they keep everything out, including the thing you actually want. The Vedic tradition says Purva Ashadha's power is invincible, apradrishya shakti, the force that cannot be subdued, turned back, or defeated. But look at how it expresses that power. Through water, through flow, through the patient, persistent movement that doesn't fight the rock, but eventually shapes it into something new. The invincibility isn't in the wall, it's in the willingness to keep flowing without one. To love knowing it might not be returned, to open knowing you might be hurt, to stay soft in a world that keeps giving you reasons to harden. That is what cannot be defeated. Not the armor, the tenderness underneath it. So what are you ready to release? Maybe it's the story that you're too much, that you love too hard, feel too deep, need too much. That you have to shrink yourself to fit inside someone else's comfort zone. Maybe it's the older story, the one from before you had words for it. The one where you learned that love was conditional, that it could be taken away, that you had to earn it every day or it would disappear. That story made sense when you were small. It kept you safe. But you are not small anymore.
What would happen if you let that story go? Not replace it with something brighter, just let it finish.
There's a tarot card called Strength, number 8. And in the image, it's not a soldier, it's not a king on a throne. It's a woman, gently closing the mouth of a lion, with her bare hands. No weapon, no shield, just presence. Just the quiet certainty that she will not be consumed. That's your card right now. Not the strength to endure more loneliness, the strength to stop pretending you don't want what you want. You want to be known, not admired, not desired, known. In the way that means someone has seen the worst room in your house and they're still sitting on the couch. Wanting that is not weakness. Denying that you want it, that's where the suffering lives. If you have a few minutes, try this. Place one hand on your chest, over the heart. Not symbolically, feel it. Feel the warmth of your own palm through your shirt. Feel the heartbeat underneath. That heart has been beating since before you knew anyone's name. It will beat after every relationship you've ever had is a memory. It beats for you. It has only ever beat for you. Now breathe. Close your right nostril with your thumb. Inhale through the left. Close the left with your ring finger. Exhale through the right. Inhale right. Close. Exhale left. The Vedic tradition calls this Nadi Shodhana. It balances the giving and receiving channels, the solar and lunar. The part of you that pours out love and the part that has forgotten how to let it in. Do this for 2 minutes, and if words help, just this. I am not alone. I am with myself. And that is not a consolation prize. That is the foundation. You came to this feeling alone, and maybe you still do. I'm not going to pretend that a few minutes of breathing fixes the ache that lives in your chest. But here's what Purva Ashadha knows that you're still learning. The water doesn't stop flowing because the river is empty. It doesn't stop because no one is watching. It doesn't ask permission or wait for the right conditions. It flows because that is its nature. To move, to nourish, to find its way to whatever needs it most. Your capacity to love is like that. It doesn't depend on being loved back. It doesn't shrink because someone didn't stay. It is the part of you that is genuinely invincible. And the loneliness you feel right now? It's not proof that something is missing. It's proof that something in you is still open, still reaching, still flowing. That's not a problem to solve. That's the most courageous thing about you. You are not alone because you are unlovable. You are alone because you love so deeply that the ordinary versions of connection don't reach the place in you that's asking to be met. And one day, something will. But tonight, meet yourself there. That's enough. That's more than enough.